What's up? In this video, we're going to be covering 5 very important books that you will need to navigate today's very chaotic political landscape. First up on the list, we have Hop on Pop by Dr. Seuss. Now, Hop on Pop was written in the 1960s to be a modern feminist critique of the male patriarchal system. The idea of hopping on pop is an ancient mythological idea of standing on top of your father or your father's corpse as an act of supplanting him as the authority in the household and in greater society. Basic premise of this book is that women should supplant men as the authority. It's basically a feminist handbook. Next up, we have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Atwood was a right-wing Christian fundamentalist who wrote this book to be her idea of an ideal future, one in which sexuality is suppressed and women are required to dress modestly, which on this channel we do not endorse because we respect women, and sexuality and sexual expression are empowering women. We respect women and their right to objectify themselves. Next up, we have If You Give a Pig a Pancake by Lauren Numeroff. This book was written to be sort of like a sequel to Karl Marx's Das Kapital as a further critique of capitalism and destructive consumerism. We see the cliche comparison of capitalists to pigs who are so overcome by their greed that they end up hurting themselves and everyone else around them. While not being written by Marx, this book is still considered to be an important part of Marxist literature. Next up, we have The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Manson was essentially the father of nihilism, this book being the foundational writings of nihilist theory, which allegedly was written right after Manson struck out in Little League Baseball, costing his team the game, which I suppose must have been a traumatic enough experience for him to spend the rest of his life formulating a philosophical movement that suggests that literally nothing matters. Like, I get it, you might think it's a little unfair that there's a kid who can throw curveballs in 4th grade, but you didn't have to cope for the rest of your life. This is why no one wanted you on your team to begin with, because you're kind of a crybaby. Next up, we have Get Good, My Ultimate Guide to Gaming by Ninja. Now, Tyler Belvis, also known as Ninja, was an extremely controversial political figure who self-identified as a neat identitarian whose movement existed to support the disenfranchised minority that is the modern gamer. Now, he did this through the promotion of nonviolent political actions until he was tragically murdered by a guy named Lee Harvey Oswald, who some theorize might have been a CIA operative, but it's impossible to tell because Oswald was also shot before he could testify. Now, to this day, Ninja's followers still honor him through these almost occultic-like rituals. I would say the ideology in general is pretty dark, but the book is very interesting. But I will warn you, though, if you order this book online, you might end up on a watch list. Honorable mention, Industrial Society and Its Future. Books are dumb. No one reads. Hit the gym. Books are dumb. Thank you for watching the video. You can go now.